I want to do a podcast about films.
I'm not stopping you.
No, with you, you fool.
Oh, so you mean you want us to do a podcast about films?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say that?
I did. I am.
Well, you can't say films. You need to say movies. It's a more broadly recognised term.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. Are you interested?
Well, we can't just talk about films we like. That would be boring.
Okay, then what about films we don't like?
That sounds even more boring.
Okay, how about this? Films we disagree on.
Ah, intriguing. So one of us likes it, the other one doesn't. And we discuss our opinions on the film?
I think you mean movie.
Yeah, don't worry about that now.
But yeah, that's the gist of it.
All right, I'm in.
Great.
Could still be boring, though.
You're boring.
I don't see how that's relevant.
Should we do one now? Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle. My name's Simon and I'm joined by my good friend Carl, and we are mixing things up and we'll be haphazardly dissecting a movie that we believe has been criminally underrated by critics, and we'll see whether we can movie the needle of opinion. So this week we are discussing a 1988 American romantic comedy drama starring Tom Cruise about a young New York City business student who turns to bartending to make ends meet. Poems and screaming orgasms ensue. It's Cocktail!
Are you going for moving opinion, just in general?
Moving the needle of opinion. I don't know.
It's a sort of nebulous concept.
Well, I'm not really sure we're using movie the needle or move the needle right anyway, so yeah. I'm just going to go fully into it regardless.
I mean,
I'll define it. Thank you very much.
yeah, okay.
You tell me what you think it is, but we'll do it my way. Thank you.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks, mate.
Good.
What about you?
Yeah, not too bad. The usual highs and lows with the football. Not to date the podcast, but people know that this has been recorded at some point in the last 6 weeks. Will know that we are forever disappointed with England. So there you go.
Oh, not just England. I'm a Leeds fan.
That'll age fine.
Just football,
regardless.
Yes, that's probably
Listening to this in 4 years' time, same applies.
Yeah.
There you go. 2 years' time, same applies.
Yeah. You ever seen those memes where it's like a dad with their son or whatever comforting them after a loss? And it's like, it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Well, I got told
it's
off.
always going to be like this.
I got told off for shouting too angrily at the TV. So I had to be quiet and then just revert to messaging some friends instead with anger.
Well, bloody hell.
Yeah. So, and then Theo fell asleep during the football, so that was that entertaining.
Yeah, fair enough.
So there we go. Anyway, enough of that. We have got a bit of a difference, as I said in the intro there. Less of a... originally, the concept here, Carl, was that we were both going to be a lot more positive on this film than what the critics are, right? That's kind of the idea. We're kind of doing an underrated thing. So that's the angle we're going at.
Well, I'm going to be very positive.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, that's good. So we do have a little cocktail-related game for you as well. I know you like a game. Cocktail or cockfail? And no, don't worry. It's not a game about your erectile dysfunction.
Hey.
I would never bring up something quite so personal on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've also got bringing back a favourite.
Oh, go on.
Tag lies. It's coming back for you, if you remember.
Yeah.
A game relating to the tag lines. So tag lies makes a reappearance as well. So we'll slot those in at some point. Plus our usual top threes that we've got at the end. But yeah, the intention was to do something a little bit different this week. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So if we've accidentally unearthed a film that I like and you don't like, and we've wasted it as a special episode,
waste it. We can just say this is the first of a block. No one knows.
Yeah.
No one else knows the planned format other than us, Carl. We can make this up as we go along.
Fine.
Cool. Anyway, have we got any apologies from previous weeks that you would like to bring up at this point?
There was nothing there that springs to mind with the most recent episode I just edited. And I think we were... I was going to say we were too drunk on the recording of the last podcast we did for any of that to gone in yet, to have gone in yet, and I haven't listened to it back. But actually, that was the one before. We were only mildly inebriated last time out.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I think probably. Yeah. But I don't.
I would like to apologise to myself, having just listened back to some of the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I just feel like I missed a real opportunity. We were talking about sound design and how action wasn't going over the dialogue in any way, and you said how important that was at the time, and how and I didn't once even mention Tenet, and pull you up on that and how
I was ready for you to do that.
I know I was very disappointed in myself.
I knew
but
you would do that.
You'd have the ammunition back, wouldn't you?
Because what I would say is if that was your take, that I was saying that was important in and of itself, you actually didn't listen to what I said.
Well, you should take that for granted.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Let's move. Let's leave that one where it is.
All right. Shall we? We're going to get on and go straight to talking about the film. Okay. So today we are talking about Cocktail, Tom Cruise starer. But first, a reminder of our ratings, which still apply even though we're doing a slight twist on the normal format. So it's a simple 5-point scale. You really don't like it, ambivalent, like it, or really like it. And it's us versus the critics this week. So the critics, very much I would say in the really don't like, would you say there, Carl?
Joyless fucks.
Yeah. So just to give a bit of context, Rotten Tomatoes score of 9%, which is very low. Very, very, very low. Less than 10%, one might say. And a Metacritic score of 13%. So, I'm no mathematician. But I'm saying that equates to about a 1 out of 10 rating. Or, on the old Letterboxd, a 0.5 out of 5.
Ridiculous.
Which should really just be reserved for the stuff you do just scrape off the bottom of your shoe that has no redeeming qualities, I would say. But
do you know how the Rotten Tomatoes percentage score works?
Is it based on number of favourable or percentage that is favourable? Right?
Yeah, so if there are 100 reviews,
everyone
only
said
9 of them were favourable. Yeah. So actually in a fairly similar way to the way Metacritic aggregates scores as well. So... yeah, because I looked that up when we found this. I thought I'll look into what that score actually. Unbelievable, joyless.
Yeah, it was a real shock because I've watched some absolute tosh before, which has had actually some of it's not even been reviewed. It's been so bad.
6 out of 10.
But still, like some of the critics think they found more redeeming qualities than this, and so there we go. But let's find out where we sit on this or stand. It's up to you. I'm not going to...
I watched it laying down today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why were you in such a position?
Just on the sofa, mate.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to bring something interesting had happened. Or... No. You just felt like that was the kind of way to most enjoy the film?
I'm afraid I was even wearing pants.
Oh, well, this is getting increasingly disappointing.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, Carl, what are your thoughts on Cocktail? Where do you stand?
Well, I like it. And I don't want to give away too much on this little bit. But I am also ready to defend it and say it's not as bad as people make out either.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I think it's certainly not as bad as people make out. But I will say that I might be closer to the critics than I am to you. I still think they are being massively harsh, and it's definitely not as bad as they are making out. And there are definitely more entertaining parts than warrants such a low score. But it's definitely not without its issues. And I think on reflection, it kind of leads me around the I don't like or ambivalent scale. Like I could be moving around either way, but it's definitely more than a 1 out of 10. So I'm happy to defend it as well, but also going to be challenging and backing up some of the old critics' perspectives as well, potentially. But, let's see how it goes. But before we go any further...
Ooh, exciting.
Well... there's beer.
There is beer.
So let's unveil the beer. And I'm a bit worried because I saw some of the beer that they were drinking in this movie, and I'm sure there was a Miller.
There's nothing to worry about with Miller. It was
Red Stripe, a lot of Red Stripe.
It was Red Stripe. They're both perfectly solid lagers. We're not into PBR territory here.
True.
Or Bud Light.
Get out.
So there's nothing to be afraid of there.
Okay. I mean, that bit where I was talking was where you were meant to do all the rustling around and get the stuff out. But it's fine. We can still have the audio of the unzipping.
I'm telling you, mate, this is ASMR, right? If we film this and wear a load of makeup and probably bikinis, we could make a make a killing on TikTok. I think. I don't know how it works. Right, I have gone straight down the line.
Okay, what we got?
And it is a red stripe.
Oh, I couldn't see because the microphone was in the way. Excellent. Yeah. I do like a red stripe. That's good.
And because these come in packs of 4, it does mean we've got a couple each.
Hey. And I need it. So that's good.
And it's still pretty warm today as well, so...
Yeah,
there we go.
Would be nice to have some sun, but, that's fine. I've been down south this weekend, so got my sun quota, that's the word, in for the weekend.
Your sun quota?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant
not the newspaper.
Parental. No, like parental.
All right, yeah, I've got that as well. I've had enough of him now.
Yeah. Yeah. I put the time. I did my bit.
I'll be done now. I've done just enough parenting not to feel guilty, which is...
done my bit. It's the iPad's turn now.
Oh, he's had plenty of that with the car journeys down. You literally don't get a word out of him. Could be a mute.
Yeah.
Unless he hears sweets in the front, in which case he then suddenly becomes alive and can hear magically through his noise-cancelling headphones.
Very subtle.
Snack.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the cast. So, Carl, how's the first sip of beer? Or third sip of beer?
Is it any third? I like Red Stripe. And... I do, and we've said this before. You said it's very much a gig beer, which it is.
Yeah,
and I don't know how that's managed to happen.
No, I've not been to many gigs in Jamaica, but
yeah, and if you ever hire out a rehearsal space somewhere as well, they tend to send beer.
I've not done that either because I'm completely untalented.
And it is always Red Stripe. So it's weird. So I don't know why that's happened, but I, funnily enough, have always associated this with Jamaica. Right, because obviously it says Jamaican lager beer on the front of it.
Sure.
But through the film Cocktail, I'll have seen it in that, and then also
this was that was your first exposure to Red Stripe.
Yeah,
it was in this movie.
Or the thing that I've remembered and I've attached it to, and then I've sort of I've enforced that with the Firm as well. Now that's not Jamaica. That's the.
So it's just every time you taste this, right? You just get a whiff of Scientology.
No, it's the Tom Cruise again, isn't it? the Firm, but it's like that thing of oh yes, this is very much like a beer from far-flung places. Far-flung places.
Wait,
it's just another lager. I mean, this version that we're drinking very unlikely to be Jamaican,
not
isn't
Jamaican.
It? Yeah.
Can't actually see.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Yeah,
wow.
UK.
The Jamaica of the UK, they call that.
Listen, it's a beautiful place, Edinburgh.
I'm a fan of Edinburgh. Very much not like Jamaica, though. I'm not saying Jamaica's not lovely. I haven't been. I'm just saying Edinburgh's a shithole. No, it's not. I mean, it's not sunny and nice like Jamaica. Oh, God. Quick, let's move on to the cast.
Yeah.
So we talked about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is in this.
Yeah.
He's also in the film, but he's also in this. Brian Flanagan.
Tommy C.
Oh, yeah, good old Irish Tommy Cruise.
Yeah. You couldn't pull Brian off as a name for a cool, suave character.
I've heard you've pulled Brian off before, so...
Hey!
Anyway,
you couldn't do that these days.
As what?
As a cool character. That's very much a name that's diminished in coolness, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Doug to a degree.
Yeah, again, another one. I mean, I love Tom Cruise.
So, Tom Cruise in this guise, because this is a cocky, happy, charmified Tom Cruise kind of performance. It's the kind of
in this guise. Do you think he has another?
Well, so yeah, I do, because in his say Mission Impossible guys, where he's very he's quite serious, action focused Tom Cruise, and less dealing with the charm and hair and smile Tom Cruise.
Fair enough. I don't think they're that different.
Well, I don't know. I find a happy, smiling Tom Cruise much more irritating than the version that I see perhaps in his more recent movies as well. I've definitely found him less irritating the older he gets for some reason.
I don't. Besides the youthful sort of exuberance that does naturally sort of fade, I don't think they're that different. They are a bit different, like you say. He does age, but I love him. He's probably, see if you can think of anyone that defines this more. He is a movie star through.
Oh no, 100%.
He's not a proper actor. He's got a very, very limited range, but he brings it all the time. And he obviously at this stage, and for probably about 20 years now, longer maybe.
He stars in Tom Cruise movies.
He's getting hired to do that again and again and again and again.
You don't insert
himself.
Tom Cruise into a script which could be for 10 other people, do you? Years ago, this is a Tom Cruise movie starring Tom Cruise with Tom Cruise.
We want Tom to bring the sauce.
100%.
So I can't think of anyone that defines that sort of. I mean, they're meaningless definitions, aren't we? You talk about actors versus star, but I can't think of anyone that defines what star
hard to define, but
more than Tom Cruise. And I am here for it. I lap it up.
So I think this one, and he admits it himself. He said, "Cocktail is not my crowning jewel," which I think is fair. Like, no one's saying this is the top Tom Cruise movie. Are you, Carl? Or are you?
Oh, no.
No, okay, fine. Just checking with the levels that we're getting to here.
No.
I have to say, one thing that stood out more than anything was the delicious, amazing hate crime that was his Jamaican and Irish accents.
You had to go with both.
And they were just magnificent.
Yeah.
Magnificent. Something I might just get a clip of and just play every now and then.
I think the Jamaican one was okay. Not in terms of execution. Christ, no. But I mean, like, that was very much like...
He was taking the piss.
Yeah, he was taking a bit. Was the Irish one. He's supposed to be Irish.
Yeah, you're meant to be able to come on. All your relatives must sound a bit like this. Come on, Tom. Brian.
Well, but the thing is, now I don't want to assume your role on this podcast, but when Americans call themselves Irish,
it just means that they're American, basically, doesn't it? On somewhere in the East Coast kind of area.
Yeah, because it's not even, like, how many generations back? Oh, God, no, I'm not. No, not by blood. No. But someone I knew once.
They take great pride in the old Irish heritage, though, don't they?
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. So, yes, the accents.
Well, what do you make? And what do you want to say about his performance generally? Anything more?
Well, it's difficult to, and I think this is a theme that might crop up a bit when we talk about this film. It's difficult to talk too seriously and to praise it too seriously, right?
Yeah.
Because that's really not where the joy of this film is.
Yes.
And to go back to Tom Cruise, that's not the joy of Tom Cruise either.
No.
So you can start to look at it a bit closely and pick it apart. I just think he's pretty good. He looks great on screen. There are some issues with the film we'll get into, but he's doing his bit. He's bringing the Tom Cruise. He's carrying the film home. So,
and interesting, this was 1988, and it's not where it was in his filmography that I would have guessed it was for some reason. Like he almost seemed younger than Top Gun Tom Cruise, and that was like 4 years earlier.
Yeah.
He seemed very youthful in this, and I struggle. I've not seen much before Top Gun from Tom Cruise. Before that, he's done three or four films before. But yeah, there's a very, very young Tom Cruise. But he gives it his all.
He's bringing the cruise, mate. He's bringing the cruise.
What about Brian Brown as Doug Coughlin? Do they call it?
Coughlin, they say. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely Irish. Coughlin, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, they never make reference, unless I miss this. They never make reference to the fact he's Australian.
Kind of once where the Cruise character says, like, when you came over here and yada yada, but not specifically Australian.
Yeah, but then with a name like Coughlin and, with the Irish, with the Australian history, he could still be Irish. With a name like Coughlin, I'm like, is he supposed to be Irish as well then? Is that, is that the thing?
But no, I hope he wasn't trying to be Irish. Jesus.
Yeah, can you imagine? You thought Cruise's accents were bad. I liked him. I've seen him in a couple of things.
More recent things.
No. One was an older one called is it Illusion or just an Illusion or something? He plays like a VFX guy who ends up getting, it's like a thrillery type action thing. Ends up getting dragged into some sort of murder or whatever.
Sounds
quite a fun film. No, it's 80s fun film again. And then the other thing. He was in, like, was it BT adverts or something?
Was he?
Yeah, he was in a set of adverts that screened in the UK, like in the 90s or something. But I like him. He is playing, that brash, arrogant,
cynical
loser, cynical as well, and he plays that very, very well. And do you think as well, actors don't really look like him anymore?
Old and craggy, a little craggy.
Like basically like I don't know how to say it, but I don't want to say like he looks like ugly.
No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Whereas now they would get a pretty actor and make him up to look like,
or just get an older, prettier.
Do you know what it is? He looks normal.
Yeah.
Do you know that's what it is? And actors tend to not look normal.
He looks like a barman in in a New York bar.
He does.
A little bit. A bit past his prime, but you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I very much enjoyed him in this. I thought he was a credit to the film.
Yeah, I thought he kept it very interesting. He was pretty magnetic.
And maybe I don't know if you've got any trivia about this, but I wondered how much he was allowed to bring to the character himself, because a lot of the lines are very Australian.
Straight from the BT advert.
Very Australian, maybe. And I wonder if he was basically allowed a bit of like...
Yeah, I don't know.
No, this is how... You want me to play this? Fine, but this is how I would say it. This is how I would do it, because I thought it was a very believable, natural sort of performance.
Yeah,
try pick that out. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough though, isn't it?
Ossified the dialogue to make it sound more thingy. Who knows? But
yeah, he was good.
But I think being an Australian actually helped that character. I don't know why. Just something about being the Australian and being that way. I don't know. Some brought
that's an interesting observation, because when I was trying to recast this one, there was something that felt wrong about putting an American in there.
Exactly right. And I think if you put an American in there, which there was a lot of potential cast members, all of which I don't think would have worked as well as in being a normal-looking kind of Australian guy.
And that's such a credit to him as well. When even a role as like unglamorous as this one, you somehow go in, I couldn't really imagine anyone else doing that role. He's absolutely nailed it. So,
and then good. And then Elizabeth Shue.
Now she's got a tough gig because her part's the most underwritten.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ostensibly 3 leads in this film, of which she's one in terms of the story. And she has the least to do.
And she's in the shitter half of the movie as well.
Shitter half.
It's definitely the first half is definitely better.
But I love her and think she's absolutely beautiful, bringing those lovely sad eyes again to this film.
I think it's the smile for me.
Yeah, she has got a nice,
the smile,
very soft smile. And I think she, again, with what she has got to work with, is doing just fine. I think.
Yeah, I thought she did quite a lot with not a lot.
Yeah.
Hard not to like. Just
that's a good point. Good observation.
Yeah. Interesting. Her comments about the movie. If I'd known that it was just going to be about these guys throwing drinks around, then I might have had some second thoughts. Thought it was a bit harsh, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's also not. There's not some grand story in this movie.
What part in the script did she read and go, hold on?
But
I thought this was more.
It's not really. Yeah, it's a strange one, really. I guess there is another way to say that, which is, I wish the story was better.
Yeah.
but I don't know if I would say the story is. I would say, how would you describe the story? If you're going to say, like, one sentence, what is this film about?
How would I describe the story? What do you mean? Like, literally just say so describe, right? Not in adjectives, but in actual.
Oh, you know that film Cocktail? What's it about?
The first half's about this really interesting journey of a character becoming this awesome cocktail maker, and the second half shit.
I mean, I don't think that works as a description, because
I have to work on my elevator, bitch. I'm sorry, you put me on the spot.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's about somebody opening a bar or learning to make cocktails, right? It is just a tacky romance.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I was less interested in the romance, I think that's the thing. I was more interested in the bromance angle of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And
then when that tart got in the way, you were like, for God's sake.
I don't know. We'll get into the plot, into some more. But I feel I've got the
Why won't you just let the boys have fun? For God's sake,
bloody women, etc. Let's move on to recasting before I get caught into a horrible chauvinistic trap.
Another one. You got any? Have you got any?
Oh, obviously, you talked about Australian actor. I mean, come on, just think who I'm gonna go for.
Right. Well, see, I've got 2 Australian actors on my recast list. Only one of them is for Coughlin.
Interesting. Okay. How many of yours were in Crocodile Dundee?
Yes, he is Paul Hogan. Right, and do you know the thing that I was like, oh, for God's sake. I was looking down the list of actors, because I try to find them, but if I can't think of someone, I'll try to find them by age, right? Looking down the list of actors, and people are jumping out, and you go, nah, they couldn't do it. Nah, they couldn't do it. And I saw the name, Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan could do it. Oh, fuck, he's Australian. I'm not going to be allowed to say this and get away with it.
Could definitely have done it.
But he could have done it, right? Yeah, because he's got that same
look. As well,
yeah, very normal looking guy, and that same rough around the edges, cynicism, but cheek, and I had him, Paul Hogan.
Interesting, the people that they were trying to get for it and could do it. Michael Caine.
No.
What? I mean, just no.
No.
Ooh. No. Well, as a Brit. Actually, I hadn't thought about this. I kind of just thought he'd be like American, but actually, maybe if he was British.
Yeah, he's 80s. Growing on me already.
Late 80s,
no,
Michael Caine.
Yeah,
what was Michael Caine in around the late 80s? So I can date this.
Michael Caine. I don't know a lot of his early stuff, to be honest with you.
All right, you carry on. I'm going to look at that, and then we'll come back.
He did some like spy stuff in the 70s, like the Chris File and what have you.
Yeah.
When did? Hang on a minute. When did he do Alfie?
That was much earlier, right?
Was it?
I think so.
Because you essentially want a sort of a bit of a wannabe working class Casanova, but he's a bit of a loser as well.
So the other person
he can act as well.
The other person that was talked about again, and to try and reignite what they had in an earlier film was Paul Newman. I was like,
I couldn't see it. I thought about him too. So a lot of TV, Michael Caine.
Jaws: The Revenge. He was in 1987.
Oh God, yeah.
Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Around that time, I'm not really familiar with this region of Educating Rita. A bit earlier.
I don't think that's a terrible shout. The others I had for Coughlin were, and this is a real stretch, and this comes back to the American thing. Alec Baldwin, because I want someone who is conceivably a ladies' man, but obviously needs to act his way into being a bit of a loser as well, as I say.
Yeah, okay, I quite like that.
The best one I could come up with, besides Paul Hogan, was Gary Busey. Because
Gary Busey, the ladies' man.
Well, that's the bit that's slightly more unbelievable for him, but he's got all the sort of the arrogance and the again, sort of more working class side of it down, I think, as well. Otherwise, another name that come up, which I thought, I just couldn't do it, Michael Douglas. If you're talking about that dynamic between, because Brian Flanagan's looking for a bit of a, I don't know, you said bromance, but it's more like an older brother,
almost, isn't it? Yeah.
You know. And I was thinking, well, yeah, Michael Douglas definitely do that bit of it, but then he's American, he's a bit too sort of suave, arrogant enough, but
I think he's a bit too smooth. I think he would struggle with the
the grittier
cynical,
side of it.
gritty bit. Yeah,
agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah, agreed. So Paul Hogan then.
Cool. Paul Hogan is, and what about for the cruise role? You can go authentic Irish here as well if you wanted.
Oh, interesting.
I haven't got anyone. I'm just saying you could.
Oh no, I haven't got authentic Irish. So the other Australian I had comes up here.
Okay.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Do you know it's a bit of a cheat? He calls himself Australian.
Where's he from?
I need to. I should have probably been surer on this before I started saying the sentence.
I'll check and then correct you immediately.
He's either born in America but moved to Australia when he was young.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's the other way. He was born in Australia, but he basically grew up and spent his entire film.
That's weird. I thought just assumed he was Scottish. I've only seen him in Braveheart.
Well, yeah.
So he was born in Peekskill, New York.
Yeah, so he was born there. So he's moved to Australia.
His mother was Irish. There you go. See,
he's back in the game.
Yeah.
He's back in the game, is Mel Gibson.
American-born father of Irish descent.
No, hello.
Yeah, moved to Australia in the late 60s. So, yeah, he was like spent his first 10 years in also in America. Oh, you're not Australian, mate. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't care what your passport says.
Yeah. So you've got Gibson. Then I've got let's have a look. 1, 2, 3 American names, which I don't think work. But I'm just gonna
throw them out there. Go on.
You try them on.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Macchio.
I can't get past Karate Kid. Has he done anything else?
Not that I've
struggle.
seen. But I thought he sort of looks the part, and you're talking about how young Cruise is playing this role, and
might be a bit too young actually, Ralph.
Same age.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Same age.
He's been playing quite old in Karate Kid then.
Yeah. Oh, he's older. Yeah. He's a lot older. Michael Bain.
Yeah. Penichi.
Yeah.
Could maybe do it.
Sort of, again, got that sort of youthful arrogance as well. Dennis Quaid.
You keep on bringing up Dennis Quaid. I'm sure he's come up multiple times. It's one of those people, I'm not even sure who he is.
Fair enough.
One of the Quaids.
Yeah, well, don't confuse him with his brother. That'd be,
Doug?
No, Randy. That'd be
Randy.
very
No, Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Dennis Quaid is the one, I think. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I thought he could sort of do it. The best one.
Is there a Doug Quaid? I just made that up.
I don't know.
Quaid. Is that the name of Arnie's character in...
Oh. Not in Commando.
No, in...
Predator?
No, oh, shut up. The...
Eraser.
Stop it.
Total Recall.
Yes!
Got there in the end.
Yeah, is he called
Yeah, it could
Quaid?
be, couldn't it?
I don't know now.
But no, the best one is somebody
Let's find out.
who starred opposite Tom Cruise in what might be in the conversation for Tom Cruise's best film, Top Gun.
Go on.
Val Kilmer.
Oh, right. Yeah, I thought you were going for Goose.
Can you imagine? Like,
Anthony
goofy
Edwards.
looking guy.
I'm not sure. Val Kilmer, yeah. I suppose you could have a Val Kilmer. Why not? I like it. I need to find out what his name was in
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
It'd be easier if I just searched for Total Recall rather than going down
What
the
did you search for?
Schwarzenegger route.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I don't say, that whole don't work. Quaid, he was called Quaid. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Very good.
Anyway,
Well remembered.
Yeah, points for me. Before we move on.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, we're still going? Oh,
Cast, yeah.
Oh, no, I was just bypassing the women. I thought that's what we did.
Standard. I will not be denied a chance to talk about Jane Triplehorn. Thank you very much.
Jean Triplehorn.
Yes.
Sounds like... No, that doesn't work. I was going to say sounds like a porn star, but that's the other way around, isn't it? It'd have to be a male character.
Triplehorn, it's like... We're back on Total Recall, aren't we?
Yeah. Match up very well with the three-breasted lady.
Said. Yeah, instead of going, oh, you make me wish I had three. Whoa, you've given me the triple horn. Yeah.
So who is...
who is Jean Triplehorn?
Jean with the J?
Yeah, and double N.
What?
Jeanne.
N-N? Oh, N-N-E.
Yes,
okay, right, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Where the fuck did you think the double N went?
I just done the N, no E. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Triple horn, you say?
Yes. So, Jean Triplehorn...
Do I actually know who she is?
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. You look at a picture...
Oh, I do know who she is. Okay,
of course you know who she is. And you look at her, and then you think of films like The Firm.
Yes.
When she's in.
Did you just watch The Firm again?
Basic Instinct. Right?
Talked about that again recently.
Yeah. You watch those, and you go, how isn't she in every single film around this time? She's brilliant. She's gorgeous. What's happened to her career? Needs a different fucking agent. That's what she needed. So, yeah. Jean Triplehorn, baby. That's who I'd have.
Okay. Well, there you go. Sure. Why not? Go for it.
You said before we move on.
Oh, before we move on. We're talking about cocktail.
Yes.
Where you stand on cocktails generally as a thing.
I can't be asked with them.
Well, you have to make them.
Well, yeah. Depends.
If you're at a beachside bar, there's Tom Cruise behind the bar going, hey, you want to watch me for 10 minutes while I make a drink?
So I say I can't be asked to make them, right? Because to do them well is not the normal thing that you find, right? And if you're going to do them well, you need a lot of ingredients, you need a lot of techniques. It's a faff. Yeah. So I don't make them. I don't like drinking them a lot of the time because I do like a rum and coke a lot. Now you can put the lime in if you
Cuba
want.
Libre.
Yeah, well, only if it's got lime in. You can put the lime in if you want, and I'll say yes. I'm a cocktail drinker. I enjoy many Cuba Libres.
But technically, the rum and coke is a cocktail.
2 ingredients.
I think
in a
that is
cocktail,
the.
is that right?
Yeah, I think that's the.
All right. So
A highball, I think it's called if it's just the two.
So usually I'll go, oh, maybe I would like a daiquiri or a caipirinha or something like that. I'll go, do you know what? Probably be shit. I'll just have a rum and coke, thanks.
So if I was to say, what are your top 3 cocktails, would you be able to come up with 3?
I've got 3, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Go on then.
So Cuba Libre.
Yep.
Although, not to get too wanky about it, I actually prefer a Cubata, which is a Cuba Libre but with dark rum.
Sure.
So we'll just say Cuba Libre.
Do you order that in British bars and just watch them go, huh?
No, I think you can basically only get away with ordering that in Cuba.
Can you, next time, because we're frequenting bars all the time.
Oh, yeah.
On an evening, cocktail bars.
Yeah. We go down the gardeners and say,
got
got a cool batters, mate.
A ciabatta? We don't do a ciabatta around here.
So Cuba Libre, number 1.
Yep.
Daiquiri, number 2.
Yeah. Are you saying you seem to be overpronouncing this? Are you doing that on purpose?
Well, I mean, that's how you say it.
Go on, say again.
Daiquiri is...
Daiquiri?
Yeah, that's,
Is it?
Well, it's a Spanish word, isn't it? So
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Just it's important that we,
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
what do you say? Daiquiri?
A daiquiri.
Yeah.
Just a daiquiri.
Yeah.
I thought that's how it was pronounced.
Fucking not a strawberry daiquiri, please.
Yeah, so what's in a daiquiri? Just a daiquiri, plain old daiquiri.
It's like lime juice, sugar, white rum, and then sometimes you get maraschino liqueur in there. Strawberry daiquiris, too sweet.
Yeah.
And they're usually shit as well. So very rarely have a daiquiri. And then I would have to go for, if it's good, a pina colada.
Ooh.
If it's good.
Look at you pronouncing it correctly again.
What? Pina colada, mate.
Pina colada.
I'll have one of the pina coladas.
You see the little squiggle on top of the end?
What about yours?
So pina colada appears there on me. So these are 3 different drinks for 3 different occasions.
Oh, yes.
Pina colada.
Yeah, definitely.
By the pool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Daytime drink.
Sunshine. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Then I've got my margarita.
You're right.
For getting pissed.
Yeah, fair.
Give me some margarita and...
So that's going where my daiquiri's going, so...
Yep, and then I've got my espresso martini for a dessert. After a meal, get me an espresso martini. Yeah. Get me a bit of coffee. Yeah, very nice and smooth. Save the beans on top. You don't bother. I'm just going to pick them out.
Yeah, I like your logic.
Yeah.
Espresso martini, not my favourite, but I can't argue with it.
So yeah, there's my 3. One for every occasion. Yeah. This is development for me. I never used to like any kind of cocktail. So
I'm telling you, mate, because they're mostly shit.
I agree, and also mostly too sweet or taste like spirits that I don't drink and don't like.
Yeah, mostly poor. Can I just? It's not in my top 3. But when you're talking about an evening drink...
Honourable mention.
Evening drink that's a bit shorter and it's going to do the job of getting you pissed. Amaretto sour.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one.
Old-fashioned. You ever had an old-fashioned?
Yeah, but not with whiskey. I don't like whiskey. Yeah. So you can make them with brandy, which isn't traditional. And I like those. But, there'll be people rolling around going, what?
Brandy one of those drinks that I just want to order. I don't want to drink it.
You go for your Don Draper face.
Old-fashioned, please. Yeah. Thanks. And I was like, pour it away. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. So you sort of, nah, fuck that. Half a mile, please. Lovely night.
I'll just sit on the bar holding me old fashioned. Going,
yeah.
No, I can't pull this off. All right, let's move on to the production. Don't know why I said it like that. But there we go.
You always say it like that.
The production.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, yeah.
All right. This film has one of the most 80s intros I think I've ever seen in my life, just with the credits. I mean,
right. This is where I'm going hard.
All right. This, it's just the way you're sitting.
This is where I'm going hard in my love for this this film. Anything good I've got to say about how I feel about this film is rooted in the production, because you just said it then. This is so 80s.
Yes.
It is so 80s.
Like almost like they've made it not in the 80s and they've tried to make it look 80s. It's so 80s, if you know what I mean.
So underpinning why I think this is so fucking ridiculous that this is rated 9% on Rotten Tomatoes and 12 on Metacritic, right, is just how much of a miserable cunt you've got to be to not find some joy in this film, right? Because
in the first half,
and I found, as usual, somebody saying things a lot better than I did. Found a review that I think really sums up why 80s movies and their particular sort of style and feel are so good, right? And they talk about, they say entertaining escapism from beginning to end, right? Which I think is pretty fair on this. He sort of says.
Carry on.
What did you say?
Nothing. Go on. Just saying, apart from the second half, it's fine. Carry on. Yep, go on. You recording? What's going on? You're looking very confused.
And I'm just leaving a long enough pause so I see the line and I know that to edit that out.
Oh, motherfucker. This is why I can't put you in control.
So he sort of goes on stage and says, like, well, it's drivel, of course, but that's not the point. Right? It's okay for 80s movies to be drivel as long as they hold our attention and take us back to that time in a fond way, because that's really why most of us watch 80s movies, to remember the energy and feel of that period when life seems simpler. And I know exactly what he means, right? Now, I was born in the 80s, but, I was
Didn't
like
really
5.
experience the 80s. Yeah.
So I can't relate to what the 80s was like at that time. I certainly can't relate to what it was like for fucking rich people to grow up in, New York in the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that vibe. I go like, wow, this is just like fun. Just don't worry about it. Let's just enjoy this. And I love that about 80s movies. And this one fucking nails it.
Just on that though, like, will you hold other films or eras to the same standard?
Yeah.
In that way though.
No, which is a good point. So when we talk about character development, there's hardly any. There's some, but there's hardly any characters. They're really flat. They're really cliched. The way they treat women is obviously shitty. So we'll definitely beat other films up for that. But this isn't like this isn't trying to be anything other than what it is. It's not trying to be a quote-unquote good film. It's not trying to be a proper examination of life at the time or of love and romance or any of that. It's just going to be, we're just going to make a fun film. And I think that is, it just asks different things of you as a viewer, right? Because then they go, well, I'm not going to get bogged down in whether or not Tom Cruise is actually an arsehole. I'm just going to enjoy it. And we're just
It's true. And nothing screams fun like suicide of your friend.
yeah, very good. Do you think it makes sense to say, because I was trying to think about why I like this film and 80s films like this so much, and we'll give them such a sort of pass in the way you've just said. I think it's fair to say, these sort of films in this style just feel very, very secure. Like they kind of know what they are.
So I think similar to that would be like 90s action movies.
Yes.
That it's very comfortable with what they are, and as long as you go in knowing what they are, then that's fine.
Yeah.
If you're trying to critically acclaim a movie and hold it against the same standards as other more serious movies of the time, that's where you kind of start to see if being a critic is your job,
idiots,
at the time that you're reviewing this, then you can kind of see why they would have to go, well, hold on, guys. I mean, this is not a well-made movie. There are problems with this film, and if you're trying to look for what is it saying and what is it doing, then it's probably not saying some very healthy, good things. But if you're watching it like someone who's actually watching the movie and just there and going, well, this is going to be a fun 100 minutes or so of...
How long is it?
I think it was under 2 hours.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It didn't feel long, I don't think.
I don't think it was long. No, definitely didn't feel long.
Sorry,
We'll come back to that.
I threw you off there. Sorry,
You did. I forgot what I was saying, but it doesn't matter.
You was just about to slag off critics. I think. Yeah, hour 44.
Hour 44
in the
yeah,
pocket.
Perfect.
Not
I love the hour 44.
Yes.
Give me an hour 44. Everything.
Yeah. Not everything.
Okay, not everything.
Sounds like hard work. Now.
Cheating.
Yeah. She'll be bored. I can guarantee you that.
She won't even be there anymore.
Let me know when you're done, love.
I thought it would just be me.
Yeah. Dragging it out, trying to find the right video. No, forget it.
Bit of Sting. In more ways than one, probably.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
Yeah, it's critics, silly knobheads.
Yeah. So, from the critic's perspective, so if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a critic in 1988, reviewing this, like you would go, I mean, there are a few shonky moments in the old acting side of things, and the plot's not great, and the second half there's a bit of a weird tonal shift, and then it's kind of handled the suicide quite clumsily. Don't know, that's a bit weird. But I think I'm not viewing it 100% in those.
This is the thing. There's still ways you can do that, because you can still say all of that and go, yeah, but that's not the point.
Yeah. There's problems with this film, but you will still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you can rate it accordingly, right, as well, where you go like...
Well, of course you can, yeah. And
we've said before, you can like a film and appreciate that it's not a good film.
If you're trying to be analytical about it, it's quite possible to think, well, it's not that good, but I quite like it. I on the production, I thought it's, like I say, unapologetically 80s. I think there's a security to that, which I find really appealing, because what that asks of you as a viewer is not very much, and you can just go along with it. I actually think there are some genuinely good bits on the production as well, besides that. Like some of the shots they get, not just of like Jamaica.
Because they filmed on Jamaica, you just point a camera.
Yeah. But not just that. The bar scenes are
the highlight for me.
Very fun.
Yeah,
I think they're well shot. They capture that sort of the fervent nature of those.
I couldn't help but thinking, just like, serve me a fucking drink. For the
Do you not find it weird that it was a TGI Fridays as well?
Was it?
Yeah.
Where?
The bar he meets Coughlin in the first bar they're working. It's a TGI Fridays.
I did not realise that.
Well, yeah, you not spot the uniform as well.
No, I'm not very observant. We know this.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I thought, well, they've paid for that, because that's just a fucking chain that's popped up or whatever. And I was like, that's a very different experience than any I've had in a TGI Fridays.
Can I have a slightly warm burger, please?
Yeah. What's that? It's shit and overpriced. Oh, you are spoiling us.
There are. I want to point out some of the things which in the production did feel a little weird, even taking into account the 80s and how you're viewing it, right? The first sex scene of Cruz's character, and I can't remember who she is, but they were like basically...
Coral.
Yes, Coral, that's the one. Where they're like under the sheets and do it. Very odd. Very oddly... I found it very weird. I don't know why. It was like... And then I read about it, right? And it was basically Cruz was just tickling her, and found out she was very ticklish and just kept on tickling her until they fell off the bed, and that's the tape they put in. But I don't know, I can't even describe why it felt weird, but it just felt odd the way they were doing it, because there was very little, like, I don't know, sexiness to it. Like...
Yeah. But I didn't think that was weird at all. And I think that is because at that point in the film, we're like on overdrive, aren't we? We've got all those bar scenes that are like very high energy.
Doing coke out of arseholes.
Probably. He's sort of on the up and everything. He's this excited young kid that thinks he's finding the way in the world. That's what is her job? Is she like some sort of
photojournalist or something?
Yeah, something like that. You know, she thinks she's found this wonder kid or whatever. So they're just all very excited, and it's just a very excitable scene. I thought I took it to that. I maybe didn't go as deep into the thing. Nice techniques off there. What's going on there?
I can't even tell you what it was, but I just like watching it. And
what are you doing, man? Light some candles, for God's sake.
And
put some rose petals around the bed.
It might have actually and I don't know what I'm talking about. But it might have been down to how it was edited
Right.
and led into it and then led out of it that made it feel odd. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I didn't mind
Anyway,
it. I didn't mind it.
The other thing that felt odd, and this is moving to the second half, was there was about 10 minutes of basically just him and Elizabeth Shue just necking in various different scenes, in various different locations, and literally nothing else happening. And it went on for ages. I was just like, okay, keep going.
I think
just
I
a
know the
montage of tongue.
I think I know the bit that you're talking about. And if I can be asked, I will go back and time this because I think that lasts about 90 seconds.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes, probably not. But it felt like a long time. 90 seconds is a long time in film of just seeing people.
I've something to say on that. I shall.
Oh, you're going to hold it for the plot.
I shall argue with you about it later on.
Okay, cool. Sidebar: have you ever tried tying some shoelaces without a flugel binder on?
Do you know all I could think of then was The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
When
which
they're
is
making
naming the
words,
weird. Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call the fork or whatever. But
Yeah.
isn't that a flugel something?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's a kid at football actually who hasn't got a flugel binder on
Right.
one of his laces, and his boots just fly off because you can't thread it through the
Yeah, you can't get through the
hole.
eye.
It's just like you just he has a shot. You're in danger of losing an eye at any point. So yeah, very essential things. Flugel binders. Do you know what they're actually called?
Nope.
They're called like aglets
Aglet.
or something like AGLETS. No, might be pronouncing it wrong, but I think it's something like that. But there you go.
Yeah, very good. How did you like the font
What?
at the start of the credits?
Weird.
You talked about
Well,
things that are like
it seemed
couldn't
very
be more 80s.
Yeah, it was very 80s. It's very much slapping you in the face 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I was sort of the a similar sort of you'll love this instant mood. I thought because that whole scene that you get.
Oh, it's got 5 stars, and it's up to it to lose it.
Yeah.
Oh, just from the credits.
I knew we'd love this. The opening, you get sound, right? And by the way, the sound.
It's always good to have sound.
Sound.
Watch
great.
movies without sound at the start, without the sound bar, and it's a very different experience.
Yeah, right, very good. The soundtrack throughout, by the way, fantastic.
This feels really good.
Yeah. Now it's easy because so much of it takes place in bars, so they can basically just keep pumping pop music in, right? So you just get now it's this song, now it's this song, now it's this
I
song.
think the Americans might even call that rock music what they were playing.
Yeah, some of it, I suppose so. Yeah. So it's sort of easy to always sort of bring that sort of energy and whatever. And also, we're talking about 80s, date something as well, right? But you've got a really, really 80s song at the start. You've got that font. You've got a ridiculous entrance for Tom Cruise. Like, we're just going to fucking flag the bus down. Right?
It's like, whose car were they in? Like, just like...
His army buddies, he's just getting out. Right? And
It's such a weird...
it doesn't stop
odd opening.
It doesn't stop to go into any of that. It's just like, what?
Get on the bus.
It's
I'll
just
see you later.
completely normal
Yeah.
that he's getting. All you need to know is this guy's a bit of a loose cannon.
Cocksure.
Cocksure. We're going to flag the bus down. And I was just like, oh, this is so 80s. Like, this film is just like, yeah, well, of course I'd do this. It looks good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, loved it.
Any changes you want to make?
On production? I don't think so.
I mean, beyond what I've said, but I couldn't tell you how I'd change it, but just a couple of things that felt a bit weird. Yeah, it's an 80s movie made as an 80s movie. There you go.
I don't know what else this director's done. I didn't look, did you?
No, the only things that I gathered were that this was his phase of literally doing anything, and had reached. But I can't.
You're right.
But that was just from someone's review. I'm not familiar with him. I couldn't tell you another thing he'd done without IMDbing him and looking. Quite frankly, I've done enough IMDbing for one episode, and quite frankly, can we ask?
No, yeah, I don't think so on the production. Look, I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to say there are no shit bits, but there aren't any shit bits. What are you talking about?
Oh, good. Anyway, okay, got a game for you before we move on.
Oh, okay, go on. Let's
Right.
Is this
Cocktail or cockfail?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to state a fact, and you're going to see whether it's a true cocktail,
Okay.
or a false cocktail fact.
People
Cockfail.
think daiquiri is pronounced daiquiri, but it's actually
Yeah.
oh shit.
So I was going to go down the route of cocktail with an AI or cocktail ALA, but whereas audio that doesn't really work.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to change it to cockfail.
Have you ever seen?
Plus erectile dysfunction's fine.
I've got to jump in. Have you ever seen there's a meme went around a few years ago on a board. Try our new diet, see food and eat it. Right? And they put this board out of a restaurant, and somebody just put it up saying, "Interesting take on a classic. Write the joke out so it doesn't work." I was like, "Oh yeah." Now you've written it. It's,
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. The United States invented the modern cocktail. Oh, and I should preface this with, these all might be shit and completely wrong, all made up. So, but it's the game. So
no, I'm going to say that's false.
So you can cock.
Fail.
There we go, cock fail. If you can say it, it makes me happy.
Right.
Correct. It was Italy. And this is where this slightly falls down. I said the modern cocktail, and the fact is, back in 77 AD, not that modern,
it's quite old, isn't it?
Emperor Nero's physician wrote about preparing medicines that included wines, alcohol, and bitters.
Oh.
So there you go. Correct. Well done. The oldest cocktail is the old-fashioned, invented in 1838.
That sounds like a cockfail to me.
Well, definitely, as I just said, AD 77, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Sazerac.
Never heard of it, mate.
No, me neither. Didn't find out anymore. Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, fair enough.
The term cocktail originates from the act of shoving ginger up a horse's arse to make the tail perk up, referred to as a cocktail.
Yeah, it's a cocktail, that, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a
true.
cocktail. Yeah,
it's true.
I know it's true.
You know it's true.
I'm telling you. Cocktail.
Yeah.
It's your fucking game. You don't know the rules. It's a cocktail, mate.
You should order that in a bar.
Yeah.
Well done. The Crouching Tiger is definitely not a sex position. This is difficult. The way I've worded this, the way you answer it, I might have to figure out actually if you're right or
wrong. That's not a cocktail. Enjoy that extra level.
Wait, hold on. That's not a cocktail, so that's not true. So you're saying it's a cock fail because I know I said it's definitely not a sex position, so it's false. So yes, it is definitely a sex position. It is definitely a sex position.
Hang on, what did I say?
I don't know. But well done. But it's also a cocktail. There's three versions that I was managing to find of the Crouching Tiger. Just linking it back to a previous episode. If you've not caught that episode 16, you can listen to that now. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's not a cocktail.
No.
The Vesper cocktail was invented for the purposes of the Daniel Craig James Bond debut Casino Royale.
Yeah, well, I don't like the wording on that.
What's the fucking wording you're getting, mate?
So I'm going to say it's a cocktail.
Explain, go on, because you've clearly got some thinking.
I don't think Vesper did exist before Casino Royale, the film.
So it actually appeared in the 1953 Ian Fleming novel Casino Royale.
So is the fact that it didn't exist before he wrote it into existence, basically?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There you go, that's cocktail or cockfail.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So I nearly had you.
You nearly got
your
100%.
pants down on that one. When I said, well, I don't like the wording on you, like, oh, fuck, he's on to me. Like,
play the game as written. Play the game as written.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how well I've done there because
you got.
Did I get the Crouching Tiger one?
Yes, you did get that.
Well, we'd have to listen to the tape.
to back the win.
Yeah,
that's the best you performed on any of these games. You've been awful.
Yes. Well, awful. Inconsistent.
Hear me. All right, we move on to the plot now. Okay, so do you want to kick things off, Carl?
Well, this is the weakest section, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
and I expect
by its genre.
Yeah,
I suppose that is expected.
Yeah, I expect a lot of criticism is rooted in what people think is a bit of a crap plot.
It is a bit of a crap plot, but I'd say it's probably fine.
Yeah, I think it's still. So I'll tell you why this film appeals to me, and I guess you could put this in the plot section, because he's like a young guy trying to make his way in the world, and he just basically fucking hell, shit failed, mate. He basically ends up turning his back on the sort of the Wall Street-y businessy side of it, and going, actually, I'm gonna do something that I've found that's really fun, and I get to go do it in the Caribbean as well. And I just think that's quite a romantic idea.
Also, not exactly how it works out, though, is it?
No, that's not.
That wasn't his intention. Yeah, his intention wasn't like, oh yeah, I want to go to the Caribbean. Woo! It was, oh, I've been absolutely fucked over here by my best mate I'm going to escape to the Caribbean where I can get paid to do this.
Well, no, but before that,
Was the plan was to get to the money for the thing that they could do in New York.
Yeah. And I just thought it was quite a romantic idea because he's like,
Well, much like you, Carl, you could go do what you do in Jamaica.
yeah, he shuns what is a very, very boring thing. Instead, he's having fun partying and drinking all the time. And then they think they can make it big by going and doing that in Jamaica. I love that idea. It's very, very romantic. So that's why the film sort of appeals to me. And I think it carries that feeling through quite a lot of the way. But the romance side of it is really where it's sort of... That's where you're going to find the criticism, really.
Yeah.
Because that bit is not very well...
Yeah. And this is why I said that...
Executed.
Really. No, and I think actually... that's why I would have preferred it just to stick with the other side of it a bit more, because the romance kind of threw that little bit off and wasn't done terribly well, I thought.
Well, she's underwritten. Her character is just
exactly
just there in the background, and
I found the first half, as I've mentioned a couple of times, like really entertaining. I was definitely on board with everything you're saying there. When he's trying to make it in Wall Street and marketing, I found that entertaining and stuff, and how he's getting knocked back. Some brilliant lines within that as well, which I'm definitely going to use as put downs at some point in the future. The first meeting in the bar, where he's learning to be a bartender and being crap and doing all of that, and then slowly getting better and then having fun, and just having the time of his life, partying and doing that. Then trying to balance the school part, and there's some funny bits in the classes and stuff like that, and seeing that angle.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed all that. The sage advice from Doug and their little drunk conversations and things and philosophizing? That word?
Fucking hell. I suppose so, yeah.
Speaking philosophy.
Speaking philosophy.
I don't know. Philosophizing.
It's dispensing philosophy.
Dispensing? Yeah, I don't know.
It's speaking words, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, that I thought was great. Really enjoyed it. And it was only really, the problem really only came when there was that shift after the double cross. There was a bit of obviously a shift in location, first off, to Jamaica. And I thought it became less fun. And that was I guess the main. No, it's not an overt criticism of it. It's just I definitely enjoyed the second half less. I was really enjoying the first half.
Yeah, but I don't think the difference is as stark as that between the two bits. Because another thing that really carries this film through, I think, and keeps the fun is they're joshing throughout, right?
Joshing?
Yeah, they've got like this.
Okay, 1800s, Carl. Carry on.
1800s. They've got this sort of like brotherly, maybe older brotherly type thing going on, and I think they definitely do end up friends. But they're also competing all the time.
Yes.
And that carries on all the way through.
Yeah, and the interesting part was the clearly Coughlin is jealous.
Yeah.
Of the attention and stuff, and it's the old, Padawan becoming a master, Star Wars reference, and that side of things where actually, hold on, put him back in his place with the coral.
See, again, I think this is where an example of where it's just actually quite well written, because Coughlin from the start is so obviously a loser that you can tell from the beginning, even though. Brian has found this guy who's fun and he thinks it. You can tell that, well, you're obviously going to leave
you're in your
mid-40s
and you're stuck in a TGI Fridays.
He's definitely going to, because he's definitely going to fuck you over. And actually, the film sort of highlights this itself with the classroom scene. The classroom scene where the guy's going around going, fail.
Yeah.
By the way, fun scene.
Was a fun scene.
Yeah. It sort of does the same because he goes like, he says, and here we have the petulant dreamer who just can't take criticism. And he goes, well, it's easy for you to say when you're hiding here instead of being in the real world. Right? Now, obviously, Coughlin is in the real world.
But still hiding.
He talks, but he hasn't made anything. And that's so obvious from the get-go. So they were always going to have that conflict. So I found that thread very entertaining throughout. Even though, as you say, it does detract from the little dreamy bit that is going to bring it down. But it's kind of inevitable that it was going to bring it down, so I guess it didn't get in the way for me. The romance doesn't get in the way. I just kind of, actually, it's there, whatever.
Yeah, it's not handled great. Could have been done better. I think it comes back down to this is not a serious film.
No,
Stop.
No, and don't take it.
Don't try and take it as a serious film. Yeah. If you're reading things into it at a different level and saying, "Well, that's just doing the wrong thing,"
because the other thing is
chill out a little bit.
He treats it like shit, really, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%. And that's a lot of the criticism you read, right? It's the lessons that are in theory learned from this are either awful or not learned at all, and they're actually
Well, I think he does learn his, but it takes him 2 or 3 goes to get it, because even when he's apologised, he's like, well, what have you seen? he finds out. It's like, well, should you not maybe just apologise?
Oh, you saw that shit?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, in that case, I'm really sorry.
And then he tries to blame her. Well, you
that was just like,
you were going too fast.
So you can see again, you can go well, if you're looking at it through that lens of serious,
It comes back to what we said earlier, though. We do that. I'd certainly do that with films. I will criticise films.
With films, I was worried for a second that what you were doing.
Sorry enough.
What a way to reveal it.
I definitely, we do that with films, but it comes back to but what's this film asking me to do? We're not. It's not for here. Mm-hmm. We don't need to get into that for this one. So
coming back to it's not a serious film, and this is stealing my favourite scene a little bit, but I've called it Dr. Bartender.
Mm-hmm.
So where my friend has collapsed on the beach and he hops over the bar, puts his hand on her forehead and goes, she's going to be fine.
Yeah. And then his next sentence, do you know what his next sentence is?
No, can't remember.
Will you go down there and call us an ambulance?
Yeah. Start with that.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not that. It's so much as the idiocy of turning, she's going to be fine. And then turn to someone
just
else
in case.
who's right next to her.
No, he says, just to be
He does
safe.
follow it up with just in
to be
case.
safe.
Yeah, he does.
Just be on the safe side.
I did find that funny. She's going to be fine. Love, do you mind getting us an ambulance?
Yeah, she's ducked.
yeah.
Yeah. So I did think that was hilarious. I don't know if it was intentionally hilarious either, or just really clumsily done. But I don't know.
It's just a bit of daft fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Jumping fairly close to the end, the suicide thing.
Mm-hmm.
What did you make of that?
Well, it's just necessary because again, they have. I thought it was obvious he was such a loser from the beginning, so it's inevitable that he was going to fuck him over. It's inevitable they're going to fall out. So then you've got this thing of from a filmmaking perspective, because if I know what I'm talking about, what are you going to do with him?
It's quite. It leaned into the melodrama, right?
Yeah,
kind of melodrama of the. I thought the second half was a bit more melodramatic, and
but you need.
It's just I'm down on my luck and everything's going a bit wrong.
Yeah,
I'll slit my throat, wrists.
No, but you need something to finally trigger
the change.
And a change for Flanagan, and you need a way to wrap up his character too. So to me, I was just like, well, yeah, of course he's done that because he's a loser and he's lost. And actually, he thought he'd got his break. He thought he'd made it, which is not something he probably ever expected was actually going to happen. He was just talking, just kidding. He talked a good game, but actually was
lucked out.
Yeah. And then finally gets a chance, and you go, "Oh shit!" And then he is a loser. He's fucked it up. So I don't know. I thought that fit. To be honest, I thought it was fine. You said you opened that question by saying touching on my favourite scene. The fucking
not the suicide. The Dr. Bartender was my favourite scene.
Oh god, right? Yeah, sorry.
His reaction was pretty funny though. He sees him and he puts his hand in the blood on the table and goes, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Sorry, not the blood leaking out of your friend. Yeah. Is that not a bit that makes it? Okay, fine, whatever. But here, the grand reveal that she's actually really rich. What's her name? Elizabeth Shue character. Jordan. And I did chuckle a little bit, and it's like, and I'm pregnant. And I was just like, yes, of course you are. Yes, that's
it's hitting all the marks. Isn't it?
Exactly. It's not unpredictable. Let's put it that way. And it was led up to with his uncle sort of talking about you wait till you get a girl pregnant. And I guess this is where the criticism comes from, right? I'm laying these out to sort of highlight the fact that I get where people are coming from with it, but chill out.
It's just a mood thing, isn't it? Because, like I said, yes, you could do those things, and even as a critic, there is a way to say those things without going. So it's a 1-star film. It's a 1 out of 10 film.
This is predictable thing, but a joy to
Exactly.
to watch.
And the most egregious thing about a critic shredding a film that is blatantly not a 1 out of 10 film, right? For lots of reasons, when you consider the shit that is out there, right?
Hateful shit.
Yeah, exactly. The most egregious thing about all of that is to go, the film's not pretending to be anything that you're trying to make out that it is, to then slag it off with.
Yeah, because there's a couple of the critics' reviews, which I'll come to some of the quotes from critic reviews as we do our final statements, where we say this is why they're wrong. But a lot of it comes down to the message that's being sent, and it's like, I'm not sure it's not trying to send a message.
It's not sending a message. I mean, I don't know why the film's not called Cocktails and Dreams. Why it's just called Cocktail.
The book's called Cocktail.
Is it? Okay, well, I don't know why the book's just called Cocktails and not Cocktails and Dreams.
Exactly, because that is exactly what it's about, right?
Exactly. Cocktail and Dreams, and you're going to go, well, what's the message here? Oh, fuck off. They're just having a laugh and they've got a dream, you idiot. Like, you know, so...
you got anything else or any changes?
It's difficult to say that you should change this, because I think a quote-unquote better film definitely builds out Jordan's character more, and then those things don't seem quite so cliche, like, oh, and I'm pregnant, and oh, I've got a job, and I've actually
the delivery of the pregnant thing as well was very clunky.
I'm actually really rich, but I couldn't tell you because you're obsessed with money.
But
and he is obsessed with money, and she's right. It's just
now you're
we deliver
really
that in
rich.
one line,
Excellent.
don't we? Yeah, like it's, you know. So a better film definitely fleshes that out more, but then it's not trying to be that serious film. So for me, it's fun, and it doesn't need to do those things. So, you know, there's scope to do better with that, but it doesn't bother me.
The one thing, and I think I mentioned it to you when we were just talking about this over coffee a little bit, was the... I remembered this from first watch, there being a lot more cocktail making. A lot more of the flair cocktail making and stuff like that than there actually is. There's not actually that much. There's like 2 scenes where they do a little bit of it. And it's not as impressive as as I remembered it either. Like, it's like throwing ice and catching it. And
he's still not even completely nailed it by the time he gets to Jamaica.
No.
Like,
and he doesn't do a lot in Jamaica, really.
No, I think he does one thing.
You basically just become a normal barman in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like you could have just showed me a little bit more of the flair thing. Get me excited. Before we move on, game number 2. You ready?
Yes.
So this is the return of tag lies. So there are 2 official taglines for this movie. Can you spot them from this? So you say tag truth or tag lie.
All right, bring it.
You ready? Oh shit, which one's a true? Okay, it's fine.
Start.
Mixing love, 1 drink at a time.
I mean, that could be true, couldn't it?
But only 2 are true. And you don't know which...
Can I have the rest?
No.
Constrict eyes. How many... Can I know how many there are?
There are 6.
Right. Play the odds. Tag lie.
It is a tag lie.
Right.
Yeah, that one is made up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're down to 2 out of 5 now. We're nearly 50-50. Come on.
Right. He wanted riches. He found mixes.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I tell you what, I like that, though. It's good. Is that a bit too on the nose? Mixes. I mean, it's up there with his poetry.
We haven't talked about the poetry. We have to talk about the poetry.
All right, we can come back to the poetry. I'm gonna go tag lie again.
It is a tag lie. Yeah. You're doing well today.
It's 50-50 now, baby.
It is 50-50. Let's see. Right, I need to mix this up now to make it harder.
That means the next one was going to be a tag truth. Now does he double bluff me here?
When he pours, he rains.
When he pours, he rains.
As in rains like
it rains like a king.
Yeah,
I fucking know what words mean, Simon. Jesus Christ.
It's actually quite clever, I thought.
Oh.
Not a serious game, Carl.
You wouldn't have thought of that.
I didn't think of any of these, Carl.
Yeah,
it's either AI or it's real.
I'm going to go tag lie again.
It's true. I thought it was really fucking good, that. I read it first, and I was like, that shit. And I was like, oh. It took me like 3 seconds to go, oh, when it rains, it pours. Rain pours, rain. That's good.
Yes,
I like it.
Very good, very good.
So, yeah, no, that is a true one. Okay. Jamaica cocktail? I did.
No, that's a tag lie. Come on.
Yeah, I made that one up.
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah.
Shaken, stirred, and tangled in love.
Ooh, that's not good.
All right, now I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you both of these and you can decide which one's true. How about that?
Okay,
And there's 50-50 choice too. Shaken, stirred, and tangled in love, or they thought he was good. They were wrong. He was the best.
Oh, no, that's got to be a lie. That's got to be the tag lie.
So you think
I think shaken, stirred, and tangled in love, yeah.
Shaken, stirred, and tangled in love is a tag lie.
Right.
The shit one is the real one. They thought he was good. They were wrong. He was the best.
Yeah, that's no. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's no, when he pours, he rains. I mean,
Yes.
it's good. And also, this is why I came back to the cocktail making thing. Like, you need to make him a bit better.
Mm.
If you're going down this whole thing, like, it needs to be a bit more impressive. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But come on. Really up your game here. That's the end of tag lies. You enjoy that one? You like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
do
come
like
back for another one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
Definitely. So, poetry then.
Poetry, fucking hell. So, I mean, so obviously made off the cuff in a situation as well. He is the last bartender poet, or the first bartender
He's
poet?
the last.
The last
The other guy
bartender
is,
poet.
I'm the first yuppie poet.
Oh, yeah. The last bartender
I'm the
poet.
last barman poet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
We'll see if I've come up with my own one later. We'll see.
Oh, fucking hell.
Well, tease.
I'm genuinely looking forward to that now. No, I mean that was just more Daft 80s stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. You said it's hard to pull off.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they did it.
Well, no. So the thing is, the first yuppie poet, 100% Daft 80s, and obviously it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all like booing and everything. It's great theatre. But then he's to stand up, and he means it because he repeats it later on.
Later on, right at the end, right? It's like the closing.
So at that point, you've got to be like, how's it? You've got to be cool to pull that up. He's Tom Cruise, mate.
He's Tom Cruise.
He can do anything. We've got Tom Cruise in an 80s
He's like,
movie.
oh, you want a poem?
Of course he can riff a poem off the thing. Not a problem.
All I imagine is like, yeah, poem. And he stands up, you can poem. He's going to do a fucking poem. Like,
Yeah.
He wants to do a poem. Twat.
Oh, very good.
So anyway, we move on
Mm.
to This Is Why They're Wrong.
Yep.
Mixing up. So this is why the critics are wrong. So it's kind of our closing statement against the silence that is the critics. But I'm going to give the critics a voice, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give some of the quotes that they have
Line
said,
up.
and you can knock them down.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what they said. I'm not going to say who it is because I didn't write it down. But they might also be dead. Because 80s film critics, you know.
Roger Ebert didn't like it. He's dead.
Yep. I think I might have it on here, actually. Yeah. His might be in the very, very stupid.
I mean,
Might not have been his.
yeah, but fucking chill out.
Yeah. I'm going to give them credit for this one because I like it. When you use a line from a film in your review, I quite like that. You've shown you've actually watched the film.
Mm-hmm.
How to sum up this movie: flat beer from rusty pipes.
Oh, how I've missed you. Not going to say that? No?
They didn't go say that. No. It's an inane romantic drama that only a very young and very naive bartender could love. How it got that way is difficult to understand.
Do you know what's really ironic about that review?
I read it terribly.
No. So that line is used in a very self-deprecating scene in which Tom Cruise is saying, yeah, it's shit, but it's ours and we love it.
Yeah.
And he's using that there sort of unironically to go like, yeah, it's crap in it because flat beer and rusty pipes is like, yeah, but it's fun, you dickhead. We still like it. Yes, it's crap, but we still like it, and you've missed the point.
Yep. There isn't a scene in Cocktail that isn't cheap and dumb. And whether its camp entertainment value compensates for its contempt for women is a question. Cocktail makes let's try that again. Cocktail makes beer commercials look deep. Makes Top Gun look like Hamlet. Throwing Top Gun under the bus as well. Come on.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Top Gun.
Fuckers.
Yeah, unapologetic action
How
film.
do you not like Top Gun?
Yeah, no.
Maybe he's not saying Top Gun shit, but... You know.
I mean, that's
You should treat Top Gun with the same kind of lens as what you treat Cocktail.
Of course you should, yeah. It's not trying to be like a serious examination. No. Well, they've got the tensions in that area, the world all wrong. Top Gun, I think. No, it's full of fucking self-important rubbish, that.
Last one. Cocktail is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's a movie.
So what, yeah.
A picture that sets itself up as a gritty, I'm not sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
Authentic character study, not sure it does.
No, it doesn't. But
is laughable, false, and stupid in all its details. The only connection to reality here is that there are actually such things as bartenders.
Right, I mean, that is...
I thought I left that till last intentionally.
That is bang on how not to understand this film. The only connection to reality. This isn't about reality, mate. This is fucking... It's like the guy with the review I said at the start of the podcast. This is about escapism and just having a laugh. Fucking
Tales and Dreams.
Well, exactly. Like it clues in the fucking not title.
The title it should have been. All right, Carl. I'm going to give you the what do you stand at in a court place to give your
closing
thing.
statement?
Yeah, but what do you stand at? Do you stand at something?
The dock.
No, you don't go to the dock, do you?
I don't know. Oh, not if you're the barrister. No, I'm not on trial here.
The floor. I'm going to give you the floor.
Give you the floor.
Yeah, that'll do. Give you the floor to say,
your witness.
Say all those critics, nameless critics, why they're wrong.
I mean, we've said it a couple of times. I've just said it then as well. This film is not asking you to take it seriously. It is not promising to be a serious examination of some character study or fucking the reality of business or any of that shit. It is just a bit of fun. And it delivers. And if you are looking for something deeper, the problem is you.
And I think if you review a film through that looking for something deeper lens, you're not going to find much, right? But
no. I mean, it's not completely devoid. I think there's something to be said about the bro. There's a little bit of that, all right? There's a tiny bit of that. There's something to be said about the bro thing, like that competition and, you know, there's a little bit of depth there, but it's not the point. Like, just chill out, man.
So have we moved their needle, Carl? These nameless critics, have we moved it?
Probably not Ridgery bits. I reckon he's fairly attached to his opinions.
Yeah. Does do that to you.
Yes, it does do that to you. I think the closing sentiment should be reviews and awards and objective criticism is all stupid.
Yeah, don't listen to movie podcasts, you fucking morons.
And it should be as simple as, do you like it or not?
Yeah. Stop thinking about films.
Yeah.
Christ's sake. What's wrong with you?
Fun. It's fun to think about films. It's fun to explore whether they might be any good or not. But if that's what you're going to reduce everything to all the time, like trying to pick what is objectively the best or worst in fucking art, which, you know, is an unfortunate thing to say because you sound like a wanker. Like, oh, this is art. You can't tell. But it's true, though, right? It's for you to how you find it. There is no such thing as like right or wrong, good or bad. It's like, do you enjoy it or not? So yeah, criticism, reviews, objective criticism, stupid. It's fun, innit?
Yeah, damn right. So yeah, I mean, I started off saying like, I can see where the critics are coming from. Like, I can see the angle if they're trying to view it through this proper film, serious film, whatever lens, then you're gonna find some issues with it. But I come back down to you don't view from that lens.
No.
It's generally fun. It's a bit silly.
Yeah.
It's a bit stupid.
It's a bit 80s, mate.
Get on board. It's very 80s. You get on board with the 80s and enjoy Elizabeth Shue smiling at you.
Oh, absolutely.
And just carry on. So I think ratings-wise, we'll come on to in a second, but I don't think we're going to move that critic style up for Rotten Tomatoes. But we'll monitor Rotten Tomatoes. If that goes up from 9%, then we're going to claim a win.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? All right, and we finished things off with the data section. So, some ratings. We already kind of touched on this. IMDb 59 from the people, which that's probably about right. I'd say. It's what I would expect a film like this to get on IMDb.
Yeah,
around the 3. I've written cocktail. No, I meant that was obviously meant to be Letterboxd. I've just written that incorrectly. 2.8. So a little bit harsh, but not by much. Very close. Very close. Very close. Winner of 2 Razzies. Worst picture and worst screenplay in 1988.
I don't know enough about what a screenplay is.
The stuff that they act out and tells you what's happening.
Worst picture's ridiculous.
Yeah, without going through all of the films in 1988. And the thing with the Razzies, right, it's always like, well, it's got to have a certain level of knownness.
Notoriety.
There we go. It's got to have, like, people got to know what it is.
Yeah.
For you to
realise.
Yeah,
it's got to be on the radar.
It's only because it's Tom Cruise in it.
Got to be rated to be hated.
Yeah. So they're not watching every movie going, oh, well, this is fucking shite. Who's this guy?
Also won a Golden Globe.
Did it?
Yeah.
For what?
For
song?
Best song. The song that you hear a couple of times was written for Cocktail, which is a category. So I kind of find that funny. It's like, so there is something not only good about it, but better than all the other films out that year. And yet we're still going with worst picture. I went, right, okay, mate.
I mean, it's song. I mean, don't get carried away. But yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a shit film out there that doesn't have the best song in it as well.
Yeah, that's true. So I think for me, it's a 2.5, straight down the middle. In terms of, I'm not going to say it's a well-made movie. I'm not going to say it's a thing of art, but like perfectly fine. 2.5, straight down the middle. Fine.
I mean, I think it's a pretty well-made movie. I think the plot is the weakest bit, story, whatever. But 3.5 for me.
Ooh, 3.5. Carl, that's like a... Oof.
It's 7 out of 10. It's 7 out of 10. It's halfway.
Mine 10 out of 10.
Halfway between dead in the middle and the top of the scale. What do you want?
Well, nearly. Rewatchability?
Right. So I think for this, very
Remember
yes.
the scale. There we go.
Very
I put yes. Yes, definitely a yes. I can see you're very yes.
Yeah, short, you bang it on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to think. Lovely.
Oh, lovely. Indeed.
Tommy Cruise. Oh, it's all there.
Tommy, he should have gone down the Tommy Cruise route, shouldn't he?
Nah, you can't.
That'd be good.
Tom's so much cooler.
Yeah, it's Tommy Cruise.
Yeah.
Tommy, you can't have a Tommy that's over 60 though either.
Yeah, he doesn't look over 60 to be fair.
No, that's true. He looks younger than me. That's true. Best scene, Carl. What's your best scene?
Yeah, so my best scene is the one you hate that you think goes on for 10 minutes.
The necking?
Yeah. So they have...
The topless Elizabeth shoe. Is that what you're saying? From her back. Side boob.
So they have the reason I like that so much is basically it's like a montage of their day together, right?
That was a day?
It's a very 80s...
I got that like it was like
very
a
80s
week.
way of showing their... here's how their romance has
Montage.
progressed. Yeah, montage.
Everybody loves a montage.
So you've got... And the reason I love it so much, because they start off with the sunny bar by the water.
Right.
Brilliant. Just want to be drinking there. Oh, fantastic.
There we go. Let's try.
Then they're frolicking in the waterfall.
Yes. Oh, apparently that water, incredibly warm, and there were some issues that they both suffered because of how warm the water was.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Looks lovely, anyway.
It does look lovely.
And then they end up with the fire on the beach. Just, she's laid in his arms. And I thought that was a great scene. And you're talking about themes of like bit of escapism, bit of a good time. So
you could imagine yourself being Tom Cruise with an Elizabeth shoe, working your way through that day.
Well, I'll have a go. I'll have a go at imagining that.
Tough life.
Yeah.
Mine's the Dr. Bartender scene. Just loved it. How ridiculous it was. It was great. Jump over the bar, run, and go, call an ambulance.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, kind of funny.
Best quote?
Well, I've got a couple of honourable mentions.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
One is, how do you like that side boob? Which is what I said to my wife when she got out of the water. What a magnificent side boob it is,
It was
by
a
the way.
great side boob, yeah.
Unbelievable. The other one was, why? I am a bitch. When the waitress gives him his tip money and then she delivers it with that little wink at the end. Oh, that was great. But my favourite one, which came at a really good moment as well, because he's like not at his lowest ebb, Brian Flanagan, but he's like resigning himself to I am going to end up working for Coughlin, and he goes into the club, and they're like, come back, he's going to get thrown out, and then Coughlin just piss off, Henry, it's okay. And I just love it, like cut through right at the moment. It's like very, very Aussie way of going like, no, it's fine. Piss off, Henry, it's okay. There you go.
Mine was so a couple of. I'm willing to start at the bottom. You're aiming too high.
Yes, that whole scene.
Yeah, I liked all that. Yeah,
yeah.
So that was a good start. Drink or be gone. We've already mentioned.
Yeah,
I like that. Just as a thing. But you wait till you're given a crabs, then you'll really know hatred.
yeah, he's full of them. Yeah. What's the drink or be gone? Does he start that with beer is for breakfast?
Yes.
Around here we drink
the
or
way
be
he delivers
gone.
it. Beer is fun. Oh wait, that's so gone wrong.
Yeah.
But in an Australian accent. Favourite character?
Oh, Coughlin.
Yes, I think it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Tearjerker?
No.
Very no. Very no.
I don't think I would go as far as very no. Is it no?
I wasn't close to tearing up at Coughlin's demise.
Oh, no, not Coughlin's demise.
What?
But there were a couple of touching moments with Jordan.
Was there?
Was there? But I mean, it's still a no. But I don't think I'd go as far as say very no.
Okay, what about Jerker? Gratuitous nudity?
There's a bit of nipple, wasn't there, with Coral in the dark.
Nipple in the Dark, name of my second album.
Yes. No, I don't think you could say there's any gratuitous nudity.
No, I said no. There's some gratuitous kissing and some tickling, but that's about it.
Your wife is listening to this. No wonder he never shows me any affection. He bogged at the sight of it.
Get off my face, woman.
Yeah.
Okay, that moves us on to our top 3 for today. And this being the movie Cocktail, which has 2 body parts of an animal/human, cock and tail, just in case you weren't following. We have said the top three films with at least 1 body part in the title. I'm quite looking forward to this, Carl.
I will say all mine have only got 1.
Yeah, mine too. I did try and find some imaginative ones or stretching ones. You know, the Thing Red Line esque ones. But no, and 2 of mine have the same body part in as well, which is upsetting. And I wasn't happy with it, but I was staying true to what I believe and how I rate them. So, do you want to alternate or?
Yeah, we'll alternate. I mean, just on that, I was going to say Bridge of Spies.
Because it's got eyes?
Because it's
the
not
bridge of
not
your
my favourite
nose?
film, but I really wanted to find something with spies in. Because it's got feet in it. And you were going to go, feet? What you took out? I was going to go, yeah, pies. Which is feet in Spanish, of course.
Yes. And you know some Spanish as you...
Well, I just thought it'd annoy you because it's like... It'd be like I was thinking about the Papillon butler thing. But I don't really like that film, so...
What I found as I was looking at it, it's very unmemorable. I've watched it and I was like, yeah, it's fine. What I noticed was there were a lot of films with I or eyes in the title. Why? Why?
Don't know, I didn't pick any of them, though.
Actually,
no, that's not true.
I did one.
One's in my fucking list.
It's literally 3.
Yeah. And in fact, it's number 3.
What is your number 3 then?
Right, well, first of all, I need to give you my 4 honourable mentions.
Okay, go on.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, I thought that might have been in the...
didn't quite scrape into the top 3. And honestly, it's because I've not seen it in quite a while.
Okay.
So I could watch it. I might really like it. Cocktail, of course.
Okay.
Doesn't quite make the top 3. Goldfinger.
Right, yep.
Yep. And Thunderball.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 3.
Not very many films with cock in it, apart from Cocktail.
No. Number 3, GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's the same as mine. GoldenEye is number 3.
There you go.
Hence why I found lots of eyes in there. Over 340, by the way, movies and shows with the term eye in. I found a list with 340 plus
Wow.
movies and shows with eye in the title.
There's a decent chance I'll know the way you just laughed at Thunderball means
Well-
you probably haven't got my number 2, which is Moneyball.
Oh, no, good call, though.
Yeah.
No, that's not mine. Mine is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Number 1, Jaws.
Oh, I was going to go for Jaws.
Yeah.
That would be the honourable mention for me, because similar reason. I've not seen it for so long.
It's a 5-star.
I know. I'm sure I will like it, but I genuinely haven't seen it since I was like a child.
Oh,
I think
you haven't seen Jaws since you were a child?
I don't think so.
Oh, my word.
It's on my list to watch with Theo to really put him off swimming in the sea.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Jaws was on my list of like, oh, I should. No, I can't say with certainty that it is. And I'm disappointed in myself, and I'm sorry. I had Empire Strikes Back, and my number 1 is Back to the Future. So,
Yeah.
But
No,
I couldn't get past it. It's a 10 out of 10.
you've
It's a
seen
5-star
Back,
film, and it's like, I couldn't overlook it. So yes, have you got anything else?
No. I'm looking at my notes here, and the problem is how I make my notes is
Last second and rushed.
I copy, the last set of notes I had,
Right, and then delete
them out, and yeah.
So you've got some
So my
stuff in
notes
there.
is, can I just say, if your shit joke at the end isn't in Mandarin, I'm going to be disappointed.
You're going to be disappointed. Sorry.
Which obviously is nothing to do with
Crouching
this film.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
It's from the document I copied these notes from.
Maybe that should just be a running thing. You're like, for fuck's sake, do it in Mandarin.
Yeah.
One day. No, you
Yeah.
probably won't.
Although I'll tell you what, though, following from last week, can you do it in Alec Guinness's voice, please?
No. Christ, I'm dreading listening back to that. I genuinely am. I'm just going to be like, going,
Oh, listen. Rest assured, the episode we recorded before that will be much worse.
Well, that's true. Maybe I'll have to listen to that as inebriated as we were recording it. And that's the only way that's going to be bearable.
We might not put it out.
But now we've talked about it, people will just be screaming for it.
Oh yeah, that's good. We'll drum up a bit of anticipation.
Good stuff. Well, that is all we've got. So if we've that's all we've got.
You should have gone with Alec Guinness.
I was thinking about this when I did a terrible attempt at Australian accent for one sentence before. I need an entry line. I can't do it just off. I need to. There's a single line entry point to an accent. But for me to stand any chance.
Do what Bob Mortimer does on Atletico Mince.
What's that?
He just says the accent.
He just says it in the accent.
South African. Right, and then he goes off does his thing. Yeah.
Shut it. You gotta keep that in, aren't you, bastard?
Yeah.
And that's all we've got. So if we moved the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please get in touch with us by email at hello@mtnpod.com. Still looking, still waiting. Also, please rate us, follow us, subscribe, wherever you are listening. Share with your friends, enemies, social media influencers. Do the hard work for us, because I, quite frankly, can't be asked.
Oh, God, no.
Our Twitter and Instagram is MTN MoviePod. You can also find our page on Facebook, and details can all be found in the show description. So, from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
What's that, Carl? You want a poem? Well, let me see if I can make one up on the spot. Here we go. You've listened to our podcast about this 80s movie. With talk of cocktails and our drinking beer, it's all got pretty boozy. The critics really hated Cocktail. They clearly took affront. One way they would have loved it if they'd have cast Emily Blunt. Carl has succinctly delivered his amateurish opinion. With episodes so short and snappy, our listeners will reach 1 million. So join us once again next week and we'll try and move a needle. Who knows, it could be about a movie that is starring Don Cheadle.
Oh, yeah. Out with a whimper.